Prince Harry has been thrust back into the spotlight, and this time, it's for all the wrong reasons. Behind the guarded gates of Montecito, something deeply troubling has reportedly unfolded. While the palace remains silent, whispers from insiders and underground sources paint a picture that is both shocking and disturbing. According to emerging reports, Prince Harry was found unconscious in his California residence, and the cause is being linked to alleged heavy drug use. The situation escalates with Meghan Markle's reported absence at the time of the incident. Instead of being by her husband's side, she allegedly left the scene and was later seen partying with close friends at a private members-only club. As Harry was being rushed to the hospital, Meghan was reportedly photographed enjoying the night, seemingly The contrast is stark, and the implications are devastating. Key details come from sources close to the Royal Protection Unit. It was Harry's longtime bodyguard, David Langdown, who is said to have discovered him. Langdown isn't just another security officer. He is a highly respected former Scotland Yard officer who has served alongside Harry since the early 2000s, earning personal recognition from the late Queen. His primary role has always been to ensure Harry's safety, and in this case, it may have been a matter of life and death. Harry's history with drugs is no secret. Rumors about substance use have followed him for years. But according to insiders, this incident marks a disturbing escalation. Allegations point to the presence of marijuana, magic mushrooms, and even cocaine. This wasn't some reckless night in Las Vegas or a youthful indiscretion. It was a serious medical emergency. Reports suggest Harry remained in recovery for several hours before he was finally stabilized. What's even more damning is the reaction from those closest to him. While Harry was reportedly clinging to consciousness, Meghan was allegedly building an alibi. Multiple witnesses claim she was seen laughing and socializing at an elite club that same night, giving no indication of the crisis unfolding at home. This incident, if the reports are accurate, isn't just about one dangerous evening. It reflects a much deeper problem, a possible downward spiral that has been unfolding for years. Despite the red flags, no one in Harry's inner circle, or the royal institution itself, appears to have stepped in. Biographers like Penny Junor have long hinted at this troubled trajectory, and now, those warnings seem more urgent than ever. For decades, royal biographers have hinted that Prince Harry's struggle with substances didn't begin with Meghan Markle. According to those who've documented the royal family from the inside, Harry's issues stretch back to the early 2000s, long before Meghan ever entered the picture. It started with whispers of teenage experimentation with marijuana and alcohol, but insiders say it quickly escalated into something far more dangerous. Reports claim blackouts, harder substances, and a level of concern behind palace walls that prompted royal aides to intervene quietly. Rather than enforcing real consequences, Prince Charles allegedly made a shocking decision to manage the chaos by constructing a private nightclub inside Highgrove, his own residence. The goal was control, but the execution seemed absurd. A literal nightclub built to contain a growing addiction problem. It was a strategy that raised eyebrows then, and now looks even more reckless in hindsight. Even more disturbing are resurfaced stories from 2007, detailing an incident where Harry reportedly snorted vodka, not drank it, snorted it. Medical experts have warned that this method sends alcohol directly to the brain, bypassing the liver entirely, which can cause instant and fatal consequences. Yet, at the time, the story barely gained traction. The one outlet that touched it, News of the World, was later shut down for an unrelated scandal, and the rest of the media remained largely silent. Meanwhile, Meghan's name continues to surface, in ways that cast an increasingly dark shadow. Sources claim she has always been fully aware of Harry's substance issues. Some go further, alleging that she has even enabled the behavior. The accusation is chilling, that Meghan uses drugs as a tool to maintain control, keeping Harry in a weakened, dependent state while she steers the public narrative. These claims, though shocking, are not emerging in a vacuum. Adding fuel to the fire are stories from Meghan's past that have begun to re-emerge. Long before she became the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan had a reputation in certain Hollywood circles that had little to do with her acting career. People who attended her first wedding in Jamaica still talk about the so-called party favors that were reportedly present. The stories, once ignored or dismissed, are now being revisited under a much harsher light. And no, we're not talking about candles and thank you cards. At Meghan Markle's first wedding in Jamaica, guests allegedly received gift bags that included rolled joints reportedly hand-prepared by Meghan herself. Some attendees didn't even realize what they had been carrying until they were back in the United States. Unknowingly transporting controlled substances across international borders. That single act, if true, reveals a level of familiarity with the drug scene that's difficult to ignore. Then comes the deeper layer of this story. Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. Insiders claim Doria has a past intertwined with California's criminal underworld and allegedly still maintains connections to certain circles far from clean, whether those allegations hold weight or not. The narrative being whispered in private circles suggests the Markle women have long known how to access what they need and how to maintain control over those around them. This theory turns even darker when you consider what is being said about Meghan's influence over Harry. It's not just a case of looking the other way. According to multiple sources, Meghan allegedly uses Harry's addictions as a form of control, a psychological leash, keeping him subdued, obedient, and emotionally fractured. The implication is chilling. Not just tolerance, but weaponization. What makes the situation even more disturbing is the silence. Dozens of people close to Harry, police, insiders, former staffers, even veteran royal reporters are said to have known about his downward spiral for years. Stories circulate about wild, drug-fueled behavior, unhinged outbursts, and emotional breakdowns behind closed doors. Yet every time the truth edged toward daylight, the royal machine stepped in. Public relations teams buried the damage under polished charity campaigns, military appearances, and carefully curated photo ops. By Monday morning, Harry's slate was clean. There is documented evidence, buried deep in forgotten tabloid archives, of Harry allegedly inhaling an entire canister of hospital-grade laughing gas during a public visit. That kind of substance is tightly controlled and only meant to be administered by medical professionals. So how did he access it? Why was it ignored? These are questions that should have sparked headlines, yet they vanished without a trace. Then there's the matter of Harry's time in the military. On the surface, it looked like a path to discipline and redemption. But insiders claim otherwise. According to palace staff, drug tests were often avoided or even manipulated. One source recalled that when a surprise drug screening was announced, Harry was mysteriously flown off base before it could take place. Another alleged that during that same period, Harry was involved in an incident combining both cocaine and vodka, an explosive mix that was never formally investigated. The palace protected him then, just as they're doing now. Fast forward to today, and what remains is a man spiraling deeper into addiction, while those closest to him act as if nothing is wrong. Meghan Markle is allegedly building airtight alibis. The palace is on high alert but maintaining total silence. And the press won't touch the story unless it's sugar-coated fluff. Yet, through every moment of chaos, one figure has stood by Prince Harry's side, David Langdown, the same man who witnessed the wild Vegas years and the unraveling in Montecito. He's seen it all. And now, he's the one who reportedly made the critical call that may have saved Harry's life. But even with Langdown's intervention, the damage might already be irreversible. This isn't a one-time overdose. It isn't a single mistake. This is a documented pattern, a slow-motion collapse. And everyone complicit from enablers to those who looked the other way shares responsibility. There's a reason the palace shakes when a royal goes rogue. It's not just about scandal. It's about legacy. Harry isn't simply a prince who made poor choices. He's a man born into privilege, shielded from consequences for decades, and now teetering on the edge of something far darker than a tabloid headline. If the emerging reports are accurate, what we're seeing isn't a phase. It's the implosion of someone consumed by a lifetime of suppressed trauma, unchecked freedom, and manipulation so toxic even the royal institution can no longer ignore it. Sources say King Charles was personally informed the moment Harry was admitted to the hospital. No statement was issued. No comment released. But behind closed doors, phones rang across London all night as the royal machine scrambled not to help Harry but to contain the fallout. Because if this story erupts, it doesn't just tarnish Harry. It risks unraveling the carefully crafted image they've spent years protecting. Now, all eyes are on Meghan. If the rumors are true, and she fled the scene that night, the palace won't forgive it. Her absence is being interpreted not as fear, but as calculation. The word insiders are using is alibi. She didn't run in panics. She ran to be seen elsewhere, fully aware of what that would look like. Now, as Harry's name dominates headlines connected to addiction, hospitalization, and emergency medical response, the optics have shifted dramatically. Inside court circles, the narrative has changed. Once, concern was focused solely on Harry. Now Meghan is being openly discussed as the real liability. Her past, her connections, her influence, all once dismissed as tabloid fodder, now being taken seriously. Senior officials are reportedly reviewing key events from the past 5 years, asking urgent questions. Did Meghan supply the drugs? Did she deliberately isolate Harry from his family? Has she built an environment of control and dependency? And then there's Doria Ragland. Meghan's mother has remained quiet, rarely giving interviews or public statements. But according to some insiders, Doria may have played a more active role than previously believed. If drugs were involved in Harry's decline, there's growing speculation that Doria could have helped facilitate access. Nothing has been proven, yet the fact that these questions are now being discussed inside royal walls speaks volumes about how grave the situation has become. Lawyers are reportedly preparing not for divorce, but for damage control. Because if Harry doesn't make a full recovery, or worse, if he decides to speak publicly, the entire facade could collapse. And if it's revealed that Meghan had even a minor role in his downfall, the palace will not protect her. Not this time. Amid all the silence, deflection, and spin, one truth remains undeniable. Prince Harry is not well. Whether his descent began with childhood trauma, adolescent rebellion, or adult heartbreak, he is a man drowning in pain. His story has been packaged as entertainment, a Netflix series, a memoir, a headline machine, but behind the cameras and curated image is a broken man who never received the help he truly needed. And that may be the most tragic truth of all. Harry was never just a rebellious royal. He was a wounded soul, born into a family that chose image over healing. Now, that choice is coming back to haunt them all.